beautiful soul. My name is Mara, and I welcome you to this pick a card reading. These are going to be your full moon messages, and this full moon is going to be in 23 degrees Cancer. So, if you're interested in finding out how it will affect you astrologically, you can go to your birth chart and see where 23 degrees Cancer lands in your house system, and that will indicate what house this full moon is transiting in for you. And then you can go and look up the house if you're not aware of what that house symbolizes. And it just brings you a lot of information in terms of what this full moon is doing for you and how it's affecting you, and so on and so forth. So, today we are going to be taking a look at what this full moon is illuminating for you. So, what aspects of your life are really coming to the surface and standing out the most for lessons to be learned and work to be done, and or just for you to experience. So I've got three different piles here with three different charms. And if you are interested in purchasing either of these oracle decks or the tarot cards that I'll be using today, you can find my affiliate link in the description box below, as well as a list of all of the decks that I use for my personal practice and in this channel. So we are going to go over each charm for the piles, and while I hold those up to the camera, I will be playing a sound for those that would like to choose their reading clairaudiently. So starting off with reading number 1. And then reading number 2. And reading number 3. All right, if you need more time, you can pause the video or go down to the description box to hit the reading selection timestamp. We're going to start with reading number 1, but all three will also be timestamped in the description, so you can find yours there, and I'll see you at your reading. Hello, group number 1. Welcome to your reading. Let's jump into what this full moon is illuminating for you. So you got Cancer and navigate with flow. So it's interesting because this full moon is in Cancer. So this full moon is probably pretty intense for you. It's probably going to be something that really brings a lot of emotions to the forefront, a lot of intuitive impulses, your internal guidance system. And especially with this card here, navigate with flow, this card really speaks of your own guidance system and really listening to the flow of your own body, your mind, and your soul, really. And so it definitely feels like this full moon is about you leaning into trusting yourself, leaning into trusting your emotions, and maybe even getting some psychic downloads, depending on what and how much of that you believe. It can be um, pretty intense when it comes to the Cancer card, because Cancers are naturally intuitive. They are ruled by the moon. They are extremely in touch with very ethereal energy. And so I definitely feel like a lot is being opened up to you. It may be that you are simply just being asked to follow some kind of idea that you have, and it will lead you to something greater. But overall, I think that the theme of this full moon for you is trusting yourself and really leaning into your own guidance system. So let's now dive into some tarot to get some clarity about this message here. Just going to give it a shuffle and then we will begin. Okay, Spirit, for group number 1, what is this full moon all about for them? So first off, we have the King of Wands. So yeah, I feel like you are a very spiritual person because the King of Wands is, the wands in general are pointing towards spirituality and inner growth and really leaning in a fiery and passionate direction. So I feel like this is about you taking charge and really trusting your ability to lead yourself, your ability um, to really bring in what you want in terms of stability and provide for yourself on a spiritual level. Okay, we've got the Ace of Pentacles here. So it's the beginning. I feel maybe this is about you trusting your ability to start a business or to start something that's going to be bringing more material things into your life. The Ace of Pentacles speaks of a beginning of new income, new just new material things in your life. And the thing about it is that it's the start of the momentum and it's up to you to really keep that momentum going. And so I definitely feel like with you learning and leaning into trusting yourself, that that's really what's going to keep the abundance flowing in your life. Love the way that came out. So we've got the Queen of Swords here, and this is telling me that when it comes to your decision making, you need to be sure, you need to be confident. And so laying that groundwork of really trusting yourself and honoring the signals that your body is giving you is going to make it so much easier to feel that confidence, to feel self assured and really just right in your decision making. The Queen of Swords is also very high achieving. And so I definitely feel like this is something that you are going to really excel in. This is something that you've probably thought about for a long time. And your perceptions about it is right on the mark. So when somebody else may not take an opportunity because it doesn't feel right or doesn't sound right, but you know something that they don't. And that's because you've put in the work to really grow your inner guidance system, and you put in the work um, to really build that confidence of being able to sift and sort through your reality. Okay, yeah, we have the Hierophant. So this is all about being a teacher. You may feel drawn to start in that direction, to be somebody that spreads the word, somebody that brings knowledge to other people, helping others raise awareness. It may be that you are going to be a therapist, or it could be that you're going to be a actual school teacher or a spiritual leader or some kind of psychic with the Cancer here. But it definitely feels like you have this really innate ability to guide other people and bring people to the answers that they are seeking. And sometimes this card does present itself as, you are looking for that person, but I really feel like this is speaking about you being that. And it's just a matter of you tapping into that energy to really get that flowing. And you may already be in this space, and so this is just a further confirmation that this full moon is really an opening of sorts for you to move in that direction. And we do have the king or the knight of pentacles on the bottom of the deck. So as you move forward, make sure you're moving slowly, that you're taking your time, you're really being strategic about things and doing things from a really wise place. You really want to be you want to follow a certain method. And I think that with the Queen of Swords here, that you kind of intuitively know what that method should be. And if you don't, that working on your spirituality, leaning into your inner guidance system is really going to bring that about for you. Okay, we've got the Knight of Wands here. I'm just going to leave that there because it landed so perfectly. So the Knight of Wands is very passionate, very fiery. So as you move forward, not only are you supposed to be taking things slow, but make sure that you are really invested in it. And I really want, there is a saying, and I need to open one of my journals real quick because I wrote it down because it stood out to me so much. Your achievements only satisfy you to the extent that you can identify them. And so, to me, I'm sure that it could be interpreted a lot of different ways, but to me, that really stands out as you getting passionate and really loving what you're doing. Because if you don't, like, sure, it's still an achievement, sure, it's still success, but how does that feel? Because it's so important, with with Cancer, I feel that you are invested emotionally in the things that you're doing. And so with the Knight of Wands here, it's definitely telling me that you need to go slow because you need to build a strong why. You need to build this confidence from a place of I am passionate, I am able, I am capable, and it doesn't really matter what obstacles I face because I'm going to do it anyways. I have fun doing it. Okay. So let's see what else is coming through. Okay, we've got the Six of Cups. So this is going to provide a lot of inner child healing. And this full moon is definitely a good time for you to do that kind of work, to really get into this flow of your own body. So return back to yourself, lean into who you are, and listen to your own guidance system. I feel like that's like a reoccurring message is just listen to yourself, listen to you. Okay, we have the King of Swords reversed. Okay, so this is about, making sure that your perfectionism doesn't get in the way. Make sure that the rigid code, because I do believe, because the King of Swords upright, he is a very rigid man. He has a very high moral code, and when he's not following it or when other people aren't following it, it's really difficult for him to keep his cool. And so I feel like with reverse that there is this tendency for you to kind of overanalyze what you're going to do before you do it, or for you to start something and then one little hiccup happens and it really sets you back a lot, or it sends you into this trigger mode where you don't really know how to self-soothe. And so that's again where this groundwork is really going to come into importance for you, because with that being done and taken care of, you won't feel this overbearing kind of worry that what is the next thing I'm going to mess up on? Or how can I make this the most perfect thing ever? It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be yours. So let's get one or two more cards. Okay, we've got the World upside down. So there's this feeling that I feel like with the world, it's mostly about wanting to feel complete. And I feel like this side of the reading is really touching on how you can emotionally get there. Because with it in reverse with these two cards, it's really feeling like in order for you to get to this feeling of wholeness, of completion, of fully satisfiedness, it's you're really going to have to take some leaps when it comes to your faith and your ability to do things. Maybe you are afraid of being perceived by the world. Maybe you are afraid of, having your thoughts and your opinions on display, and it's so important that you do it anyways so that you can have this new beginning, so that you can create momentum um, in the direction of this moment that you're going to be receiving with the teacher mode. It really feels like this full moon is about you trusting your intuition and doing the inner work so that this new beginning can really come to you in a satisfactory way. So, yeah, lastly, we have the Lovers. This card, it speaks of two things for me. It's all about passion projects and really getting into your creative flow, but also traditionally, this card speaks of making a decision. Are you going to choose something because it feels good to you, because it provides emotional fulfillment, a lot of beauty in your life? Or are you going to choose it because it's, um, what is the word? More socially acceptable. That's not the word that I was looking for, but whatever. It's about choosing between something that feels right for you or something that feels right to the rest of the world. And you can choose either. It's not you have to choose the one that's going to feel right for you. You can choose either. There will be a powerful lesson in either path that you choose, whether you take on this opportunity to really step into this teacher mode or not. It's still going to benefit you, just in very different ways. But this is highlighting that a decision is needed to be made. In order for you to feel satisfaction in any direction, you do need to really just sit down, evaluate. Maybe you just need to write a pros and cons list about what could potentially happen during the events of either path, and then just decide to move in the direction either way. So I think this is coming to an end. It does feel like that was like the nail in the coffin, that was just like you just need to decide and then the rest will follow. But overall, this full moon is about you leaning into your emotional guidance system, trusting your intuition, um, deepening your desire to be this teacher and to bring knowledge forth, learning how to really self-soothe and really work with your inner child. Maybe a little bit of playfulness and curiosity is needed in your path to success. Really allowing yourself to fear things and then do it anyways, to have that courage to really be perceived and be seen. So make your decisions wisely, whatever feels right for you, and you will succeed. So I wish you all the best. I hope that this full moon provides lots of love and healing and abundance in your path to success. If you found this reading helpful and insightful and you like the way that I read, then please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. You can also find me on Instagram and TikTok. I'll have my handles down in the description box. So yeah, blessed be. I love you all. Hello, group number two. Welcome to your reading. Let's take a look at how this full moon is showing up for you and what it's illuminating in your life. Okay, we've got Mercury, mind, and play. Okay, I love this. I love that you got mind and then the actual head of this person is a literal piece of candy because this is very clearly demonstrating that playfulness, curiosity, happiness, tasty things, the really fun and juicy things in life are needed for you right now. It does feel like you've been in kind of I'm seeing like a black and white screen, and so adding little pieces of color, little pieces of play into your day-to-day life is really gonna benefit you, and this full moon is a great opportunity for you to do that. So it could be in a simple way of, um, healing with your inner child or doing something that you really, really love to do as a child that you just haven't done in a long time because, we grow up and we're adults. But adding those little sparks of life back into your day-to-day life is really going to benefit you when it comes to the way that you think and the way that you navigate your mind. It also feels like some mental stimulation is going to be important, and not in the way that you really need to challenge yourself. It feels like that's what you're doing kind of all the time, and you really need to find a different way of stimulation. So, um, when you're going, say if you're going on a walk, a nature walk, you can play an alphabet game and find something on the ground that starts with an A. You can find something in the sky that starts with a B, and so on and so forth. And just really play those mental games with yourself and your inner child to awaken whatever is wanting to come through. Because I do feel like this is kind of an ask or a plead for you to be a little bit more loose, a little bit more playful. People that are ruled by Mercury, and I would know, I'm a Virgo, and we tend to be in our heads a lot, um, all the time, and there's constant thoughts going. And so in order to make that pleasurable, in order to make that something an environment that you can exist in a way that feels good for you, you're going to want to add in some playfulness. And that can be a little bit more physical. It can be painting your nails, dancing while you're in the kitchen, cooking your dinner, or moving furniture around in your apartment to change the flow of energy. It can look like so many different things for so many different people. It just depends on what really stands out for you. So you could potentially, during this full moon, while the energy is really channeled in, make a list of ways you want to play with yourself. Of ways that you want to interact with your energy and really bring that curiosity that children have to the surface. So let's take a look now at some tarot to see what else is coming through for you for this full moon. I'm just going to give it a shuffle. Okay. So for group number 2, Spirit, what is this full moon all about for them? What is this playfulness? Okay, we've got the Six of Wands coming out. So this speaks of a journey. And I feel like it's kind of almost like you've gone on this path of creating a very solid routine for yourself. And right now, you're in a bit of a pause, a bit of a lull, where either it's by choice and you are choosing to take a break, you're choosing to slow down a little bit, or it's not really feeling by choice. It's more like you feel burnt out. You're not really wanting to do anything anymore. You don't really feel invested in the routine that you created for yourself. And before you get back into the flow of things, whether you chose this break or not, this is the opportunity for you to get more passion into your life, get more color and playfulness back into your life. This card can also speak of going through some difficulties. And so maybe it's been a very long journey of, when it rains, it pours. It's like one event after the next. And being able to witness that and choose to be playful anyways and choose to still bring life into your life is a really powerful tool to cultivate through your journeys. And so I definitely feel like this full moon is giving you the opportunity to really have power over your mind in a really playful way, in a way that probably you aren't used to approaching things. Okay, yeah, we've got the Ace of Wands here. So, at the beginning, the start of a new, fresh journey. So, this card speaks of being on a journey, having a break, and before you set back out. So, before you set back out, laying that groundwork of playfulness is really going to benefit you because this card, while it is the opportunity for a new beginning, it speaks more of taking action, doing things. So you really are going to need to come from a place of knowing how you want to go about continuing before you move forward. Maybe there are some things that you don't have to be so rigid about. Maybe there are some things that you can really move around in your mind before you set back out into this journey. Okay, we've got the Queen of Wands reversed. So this is feeling like you definitely need to feel self assured. You definitely need to feel um, grounded and really confident about the decisions that you're making and the way that you are taking action towards your goals and towards the routine that you've really cultivated over what's feeling like a pretty long time. And so in order for you to do that, I feel like you may be a little bit of a perfectionist. And if you're not seeing immediate results, then it's like, well, what is the point? And your guides are saying, and the universe and this full moon are urging you to let that go a little bit, to let go of needing to control the environment, control the circumstances, so that you only have to really focus on what you feel about things and how you feel you are doing when it comes to showing up for yourself. Okay. We've got the Devil and the Knight of Cups. So there are some distractions. There are some some really I'm feeling some heavy energies that are kind of feeling like they're not actually in reality preventing you from moving forward, but it does feel like this mental block of like I would rather choose right now to feel immediately satisfied. I would rather choose to feel um like like I don't have to do this stability that I've created for myself. Um than feeling like I have to, you know, navigate my way through a very responsible but a very um, difficult terrain. If that makes sense, I feel like because you are limiting your ability to have playfulness in your life, that it's causing this kind of belief system that in order to be responsible and in order to move forward in a more logical way that you can't have fun along the way. And that's really limiting you in terms of how you can take action. The chains around these two, their necks, it's very loose and they are able to just, take the chain off, but it's really a mental game. It's really like reevaluating how you can problem solve. So again, really driving in that point of playfulness is key. Inner child work, working with your inner child to activate those fun feelings. I just heard sacral chakra, so maybe that's something that you want to look into. Um, those things, it's really going to benefit you as you move forward. And speaking of moving forward, the Knight of Cups here, he's very in tune with his emotional guidance system, with his the emotions that drive his intuition. And so perhaps you have a lot going on in terms of your emotions, and that's really creating a difficulty when it comes to listening to your intuition, because when we aren't acknowledging and feeling our emotions, it really creates a block, and it doesn't allow for clear messages or messages that we feel like we can trust to come through. So overall, it definitely feels like all along this journey before you set back out onto this what's feeling like a new experience, maybe doing the same thing but from a refreshed point of view, you're really going to need to tackle some limiting beliefs and listen to your intuition. It's so important that you do that. Yeah, okay. So closing out your reading, we've got the 10 of Pentacles here, and on the bottom of the deck, the 5 of Swords. And so I really feel like this is all about your personal growth. And it's so important that you don't compare your journey to other people's. That can really rob you of what can be a really beautiful experience. So I like to read this card sometimes, not every time, but sometimes I like to read this card, and it's really applying now that you used to be this person in the back, just hands or head in your hands. You can't focus. You don't feel supported, and you're not really sure how to use the tools of your mind to progress you forward. And then you're this person getting closer to the answers that you're seeking, really making that journey forward. And now you're standing in the forefront, ready and willing to use the tools of your mind and really bring those things to the forefront so that you can benefit from them. And with that being accompanied by the 10 of Pentacles here, it's definitely telling me that that journey of personal progress, of spiritual progress, is going to be the thing that brings you the financial, the material, and the emotional fulfillment and stability that you are ultimately seeking by even beginning the routine that you started with the 6 of Wands there. So, overall, this full moon is a pretty big deal for you. I feel as though this is all about you opening your heart, letting yourself dream, letting yourself feel playful, adding little touches. It doesn't have to be big things that like you clear your whole workday so that you can play Barbies with yourself if that's something that you used to do. Um, you can do that if it feels right, follow your intuition. But it's more about adding those little touches of fun back into your life so that you can feel good about the life that you're living, so that you can feel passionate and feel like there's reasons to get up in the morning and take care of yourself and not lean into the limiting beliefs that sometimes our mind creates for ourselves, especially if you're somebody that has been through traumatic childhood or just traumatic events in general. It doesn't have to be just in your childhood. But moving forward, this full moon is definitely going to provide you with a lot of insights into your inner child, curiosity, creativity, and this path that you ultimately want to get back on track with, but don't really know how to. There is a lot of abundance and beautiful things in your life that also I want to mention that by doing this work, you are going to be breaking some generational cycles here, some curses or however you want to word it. You're no longer willing, or you will no longer be willing to stay in line with this limiting belief here. So if you found this reading helpful, you liked it, you resonated, and you like the way that I read, please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. You can also find me on Instagram and TikTok. You can find my handles down in the description box below. I hope that this full moon is a wonderful time for you and you receive a lot of healing through this journey that you will be taking. Blessed be. Hello, group number 3. Welcome to your reading. Let's take a look at what this full moon is illuminating for you. Okay, we have Mars, Force, and Alchemize Pain. Interesting energy. This full moon is, I'm just going to go out on a limb and say it's probably not feeling like the best time for you. With Alchemize Pain here, it's definitely telling me that you are probably struggling with um, acknowledging some difficult emotions that are trying to teach you something. And if it's not feeling like a difficult time, it's probably because you have it so buried within you that it's difficult to even notice. If that's not resonating for you, I would go back and choose a different reading because this is a very sure message to me that whatever you're going through, it is needing to be seen, it's needing to be acknowledged and witnessed so that it can come to the forefront. So this full moon is really illuminating your not just your ability to feel your emotions, but also your emotions in general. So Cancer is already a very emotional sign, so it's very fitting that this full moon in Cancer be the one to really bring this out in you. With Mars force here, it's feeling like you're kind of struggling with finding a way through this pain, finding a way to the outside of it. It's like I feel like you're underneath the way that this card is depicted. They're underneath this kind of murky swamp water, and the way up, it's like you're reaching, but you're not really sure how to get there. And your guides and this full moon are trying to teach you that the way to get through the pain is by first acknowledging that it exists, choosing to look at it and feel it, identify it, and then expressing it. That is the most important step, is expressing your sadness, expressing the pain or the difficulty. It doesn't have to be something sad. It could be anger. It could be just something difficult that doesn't feel good in your body. So, the way through it and the way to really get it out of your body and being stuck is to notice it and then express it. And when you give it the space to be seen, the space to be heard, then you really tap into a specific kind of power that only comes with somebody's ability to do that. And that will not only strengthen your ability to process your emotions and soothe yourself, but it will also strengthen your emotional guidance system and your ability to really understand what your emotions are trying to teach you. So let's jump into some tarot. Okay, so for group number 3, Spirit, what is this full moon all about for them? Okay. So we have the Two of Cups and the Four of Swords coming out. So this could be pointing to a romantic partnership that has really hurt you. There could be somebody involved in this pain. It is feeling kind of like a co creative experience. And there is a lot of healing that wants to take place with the Two of Cups here. This is about a really harmonious and healing relationship. And so it could point to building that with yourself, or it could be pointing towards you having been hurt by a relationship that is supposed to be providing that healing energy for you. Is not that they have to do all the work, but that is what a partnership is all about, whether it's friendship, work partners, or a romantic partnership. There isn't supposed to be hatred and discourse and pain causing things. It's supposed to be helpful and healing. So, whichever one applies to you, there is this message with the Four of Swords here to rest. So, this full moon is going to be about you taking your time to really recuperate. The other message with the Four of Swords is this little stained glass here. It symbolizes your loved ones that are waiting for you on the other side of this restful period. So it could be that you do have a really solid and helpful support system or a partner, but it's not something that they can help you through. You have to do the inner work. You have to be the one that's willing to feel those emotions so that you can really be there for yourself, because they can only do so much. So there's a couple different interpretations, and this is a general reading, so I feel I want to keep it a little bit open. So just take what resonates and leave the rest. So let's see what else is coming through. Okay. So we have the 10 of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, and the 3 of Pentacles. This is very interesting. It's not the direction that I thought this was going to go in. So this is really speaking about your ability to take care of your resources, to provide for yourself. So maybe you've fallen on some really hard times and you don't know how to get back to that flow that comes with feeling confident in your work, feeling satisfied in your work, really being able to take on new and fun responsibilities. Maybe is depression that is really causing a lag in your life when it comes to your ability to take care of those things. There is a lot available to you, but unless you take the time to rest and really dive into what this pain means for you, it's going to be really difficult for you to navigate your work life and your finances. With the 3 of Pentacles here, it is about your work. It is about you being somebody that people rely on. Maybe you have a very important job to do, to fulfill. And unless you are taken care of by yourself, then it's going to be really difficult for you to do that, to be the nurturer, to be the person that is able to provide to other people. Okay, we have the 5 of Pentacles. So, falling on hard times, really struggling with the material world in your life, not being able to have enough resources is what it's all about. But at the same time, again, this stained glass window in the back is all about you having faith and really, trusting that things will work out, that what's for you will find its way to you. And of course, you have to take action towards it. You can't just expect everything to fall into your lap, but having that trust in the universe that it will provide for you and you have the wherewithal to get there is really, really important when it comes to actually seeing those things happen. So I feel like this full moon is about tapping into a new level of prosperity for you. It's something that you really want. You really want the new money. You want the new job potentially. You want the new responsibilities that come with all of these really beautiful and wonderful, prosperous opportunities. But in order to get those things, and maybe that's where this Mars energy is coming from, where you don't really know how to take action towards it, in order for you to get there, you're really going to have to trust and you're going to have to take some time to rest. If you go into this cycle of prosperity in burnout, in sadness, and in pain, and in not really acknowledging what you have going on in your inner world, it's really gonna make things really difficult, a lot more difficult than they need to be. And so this full moon is a great opportunity for you to dive into those deeper things before you accept all of this abundance into your life. And and it's allowing you to get into the receiving mode in general because I'm going to bet that you're probably struggling with an abundance block with this pain going on. And so until you address it, until you work on that. And it's funny because we just saw the Nine of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, or the Nine of Wands, which is about the wounded warrior that's like, it's just a flesh wound, and like wanting to move forward even though you're in so much pain. Like, just take some time to rest, just take some time to take care of yourself before you move forward. Let's see what else is coming through for you. Yeah, we've got the Four of Wands here. So a happy home life, happy, good, relaxed feelings, and a cause for you to celebrate, a cause for you to feel good in the decisions that you're making. And of course, on the bottom of the deck is the Five of Cups. So in order to get to this, you're going to have to mourn. You're going to have to feel those emotions that we have with these spilled cups here before we can take what we have and move forward into a better feeling. I really like getting into the stories that the cards tell. And so we have these three spilled cups that you really are acknowledging or needed to acknowledge. And then you can take what you do have and really carry it forward along this journey to your home, which can be represented by the castle here in the Four of Wands. I love it when tarot really speaks to us in imagery and stories like that. And so it definitely feels like this full moon, and just by receiving this reading, even, that it's a reminder that by choosing to take care of yourself first and really acknowledging the pain that you do feel, it's opening you up in so many ways that potentially you can't even fathom right now because you're not in that headspace. And when you allow for that healing, you're really creating a path to this ultimate happiness, to this marriage of sorts. It may be that you will be marrying your person that's really supportive of you. This card does speak of marriage, that's why I bring it up. So let's get one more card just to wrap up your reading. Okay, yeah, we've got the Nine of Cups and the Ace of Swords on the bottom of the deck. So being courageous, fearing the pain, but witnessing it anyways, it's what's going to bring you to this wish fulfillment moment, this time where you really start to see things lining up for you, where you see your wishes coming true, your manifestations falling into place, and really receiving this abundance that the Ten of Pentacles really offers. So trust yourself. This full moon is all about you being courageous, stepping into this really witnessing mode where you can rest and take care of yourself. Let what hurts hurt so that you can move forward, alchemize your pain, and really return back to the surface of your day-to-day life and get back into the routine of things and really start things from a new perspective. I feel like you're healing a lot. You will be able to provide for yourself a little bit more than you were initially with all of this going on. So trust your path, trust your way forward. The way forward is for you to take care of yourself. So if that's really difficult for you, just do baby steps at first and build up to it being a regular thing. Overall, if you found this reading helpful and insightful and you like the way that I read, then please give this video a like and follow me if you aren't already. It's also helpful, and I really like hearing what pile you guys picked. So if you picked this one, then please leave a comment below and let me know. Yeah, if you found it helpful, then I hope that it serves you well and that it continues to resonate throughout this journey of the full moon. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok as well. I also do lots of daily readings there. And I hope this full moon blesses you. Best be.